Welcome back to another Lefties 2 broadcast. Today we have for you the top 10 video, top 10 catchers in the game. Now the crazy thing is there's only 10 catchers currently in this game, so there's no one hanging outside the lines, but it did make it a little more challenging to put them in the top 10 order. Now I played this game for over a year and a half, and I probably played in several thousands of games. Yeah, for some of you guys, like, whoa, do you have a life? Sure I do. But when I don't do anything, I do this. Anyways, top 10 catchers. Here's number 10, Edward. Now, his power, 0 strikes, up 24, which only puts him at 192, which a lot of catchers are already at already. Now, again, fielding. Again, catchers fielding high, I guess that's a good trait, but I'm not seeing anybody get a pass ball. Maybe they field a bunt a little bit easier. Maybe they go a little further in those little pop-ups in the infield. I'm not actually sure, but he's never been used, ever. This is 0, 0, 0, 0 stats for me. Maybe I should throw him in the game. Not sure. Don't really like him. All right, now, number 9, catcher. Sticking with the Rares, we're going to Barry. All right, Barry I've used a little bit. Now, he just got boosted up in that last update, where his power and contact when his team is losing. So again, if you have him, if you're pitching in the bottom of the 9th and you're losing, or so on and so forth, I guess that helps having 205 contact and 195 power. Because if you're losing, Barry is amazing all around, like speed, fielding, throwing. Like just if you're losing, I don't lose that much. I lose a lot, but I don't lose that much. All right, and he's number 9. So number 8 for me is going to be this guy, Tony. Right now, if you look at my stats, I'm 615 batting average. That's when I played all common cards. Now, 2 strikes, his power's up 24, which puts him at a good old 205. And, you know, overall throwing, that's really what it's in there for. If you're going to steal off this dude, you're probably going to get gunned down. But as we all know, this game is kind of crazy when it comes to steals. As in these catchers, like, can't throw anybody out, it seems like. Even the slow runners, like Kevin is running on us these days, and they're like, especially when you play bots, right? Like, when you play bots and they steal, they're already at home. I mean, they're already at second base. It's hard to throw anybody out these days. But he's number 8, mainly because the throwing doesn't really help. All right, let's go to number 7. Now, I could have put this guy lower, Mario. His, great speed when someone bunts. That was useful back in the game where they're bunted a lot. But nowadays, you have very slim people bunting. So good defensive catcher, throwing and fielding. But again, I could have put this guy probably 10. Average hit, slow, So he's number 7. Could have put him lower. But let's keep it going, right? Number 6. Now, I could have put him higher, but again, it got really difficult. He's Ricky. Now, again, he's just good contact, average power, speed. So this guy, you put him in there, like when you have your common lineup, you're fresh starting, and you get someone that happens to get level 13, Ricky's solid, especially when you put him in that top, leadoff or second hole. He's going to be quick in that 9th inning. So you got to get him in there. He's number 6. Now, again, the top 5 is catchers that make other players better. They're complementary players in a way. All right. In this case, number 5 is Angelina. She increases the contact of the entire lineup. She does not hit that great herself. Her power's low, contact's about average. She's in there. She's quick. Fielding's good, whatever. But again, she's one of those players that helps everyone else. Now, as you see, I have a 136 batting average. Had her batting like 8 or 9, depending on who's pitching. But I assume if I put her in the 2-hole, give her some at-bats, it might go up a little bit, I'd assume. But the fact that she's able to help everyone else on her team is typically what a catcher does, right? They're that kind of field manager. They kind of call the pitches. They can see the whole field. So if you can help everyone else be better, that makes you a pretty solid leader. So Angelina, number 5, in my opinion. Going back to that idea of helping other people, Matthew. Matthew, again, you pitch where he calls it, your velocity goes up. And his power is pretty solid as he gets a little bit higher. So that, what about 203 maxed out power? Pretty great. Again, fielding, throwing, a little bit above average in that sense. But again, when you're helping your pitcher, you're pretty solid in my book. All right, now, newest catcher in the game. Again, I don't have her maxed out, but I was playing level 13s with her at level 8. Didn't get a lot of hits for obvious reasons. But again, the more types of pitchers, types a pitcher has, the smaller the ball control area. So that means you use her, again, with her sister Marie, to get that changeup. But when you use her with Wade or Riley or Maria, Roger, you're going to get an opportunity to have a smaller pitching area. So if you're going to help your pitcher out, make it a little harder for the opponents, again, that's a positive, right? So we don't really know how she's going to be at level 13 hitting-wise, but I don't care. If you can make your pitchers better in this game, great. Now, let's contradict exactly what I just said. Making your pitchers better, making your infielders better. Number 2 catcher in the game is Murray. Guys, he's all offense, right? He's not really in there for anything else, but as you looked at it, he got kind of cut down a little bit in that update, but his throwing and fielding, 181, that's that's a little bit above average. And again, for my personal book, 175 is about the average, I think. So if you're above that, you're above, obviously, below. So they kind of made him a little bit more all around. And taking a little bit of his power and contact away, 187, 197, that doesn't matter, right? The dude mashes with 2 runners on. So he's giving yourself a better opportunity when you are losing to catch up, right? So that helps. Okay, now, as you all guessed and know, Jessica is my top catcher in the game. He's like, oh, you have her at 401 batting average. Yeah, when she was a level 12, she was batting like 330, 329. So I recently got her level 13, 70 points up, put her in that second hole, right? Another little thing about this, right? If you have a player that's batting in the 300s or low 400s, especially if they're maxed out, don't be afraid to put them in like the 2-hole. Get them some at-bats. Remember, this game kind of nerfs you after you have a big lead. So if you score a lot of runs in the first inning and you get down to your 7, 8, 9 players, they're going to be nerfed. So their batting average is typically lower. So making kind of good all-around players, put them in the second hole. But again, Jessica's number 1 in my book. Not because of her offense. Don't really care about that. Just because it decreases the pitcher's ball control area. And that's it. You get a little pebble, and there's a lot of pitchers in this game that can use that extra control. And like you get, for example, you go to the pitchers, right? You get Michelle with Jessica. At 2 strikes, ball control area decreases. That's money, right? Little tiny BB with 2 strikes. Caroline, right? Has perfect control with 2 strikes. So now you get 2 strikes with her, with Jessica. It gets even smaller, and it's not going to miss. That is a must. And of course, we go with Una, right? At 0 balls, control plus 30. So you get a 236 control with a tiny little spot. It helps so much. So that's why Jessica is my number 1 catcher in the game. Who's yours? Give me your top 10. Thanks for watching. See you next time on the next video. Goodbye.